Hello and welcome to Anatomy of Us. I'm your host, Melanie Studley.
What's up, guys? My name is Seth Studley. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Thank you so much for joining us today. If this is your first show, go and check out the over 500 episodes we have of interviews, of growth mindset content, all focused to help you grow in your marriage. So let's talk about what we're talking about today.
Okay, so what we're talking about today is the new planner that I am releasing called the Prayer, Planner, and Journal. Here it is. Wrong button.
Say it again.
You're on the wrong one. Prayer, Planner, and Journal. There we go. Turn it off.
This joke is not a joke. It does not deserve a rim shot.
That was very funny. But this is the planner and journal that I created for myself over the last probably year and a half or more that I just needed because of the way my brain works and the things I'm trying to do in this world. And I wanted to share it with you guys. Number one, because I want you to have it for your own dreams and your own world and organizing your own things, but also just so that you understand the importance of like mapping out your day, all of these things. Mm-hmm. So this is the Prayer, Planner plus Journal. And I'm going to talk about it today. And then also we're going to talk about the importance of kind of how we structure our own lives. And Seth uses a different system than I do, but the importance, like the deep importance of having a journal, a plan, a strategy, and then something to like help you go forward with it. You know, do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, do this and you'll achieve your goals.
All right. So this is again, the Prayer, Planner plus Journal. And the reason I created it was that I love paper planners. Like I'm one of those people. And I know that there's a lot of people out there like me who love to have pen and paper, write stuff down, highlight things, all of that. And so I've spent a lot of time and a lot of money looking for journals to help me master my day, right? To like, what are all the things I got to remember? Do I need to remember to eat, to drink water, to like exercise, to do my work, to block my time, to journal? I'm supposed to journal. Oh, where's my journal? Like, and with my own kiddos, every time I've ever had a journal that's like a standalone thing, it gets captured and taken from me. And then all of a sudden there's like elephants drawn in it. And
so
like
the kids rob you of it.
Yes, they do. Every time. I have so many journals that start out as my journal and then end up with like doodles, which is in itself is pretty cute, but it's not super helpful. And you end up not being able to journal like consistently because you can't find the dang thing. So I would like to know your thoughts on seeing me make this over however long it's been and what are your thoughts on it in general?
Well, first of all, I am, and any husband out there would be highly blessed to have a wife that, number one, just wants to journal and be aware and go from unconscious to consciousness in these areas. You see areas, you're like, I've done it this way for X amount of time. This way seems better. I'm going to choose that way. And now let me work backwards and engineer the steps. Mm-hmm. But not only do you just, you just didn't go to the Fred Meyer
right.
or Office Depot and get a journal. Sure, you started out like that. Mm-hmm. But this has evolved and grown and been codified to identify the things that you find important and what other ladies find important, right? So what you've done is taken your own process and written it. And this was an idea, right? All products are birthed from someone's imagination, and we're just once an idea. Every single thing in this room was once an idea. Same thing with this. But this idea turned into a very practical, purposeful document that you use to attain your goal. So I know that's kind of a long-winded way, but yeah, I'm very proud of you for creating this and identifying. This isn't just like stuff to keep you on track. Mm-hmm. It's stuff to support the kids, to support me, to run a healthy and a vibrant household, to run a healthy and vibrant business, and to take control of your own mind, just like the Bible says, take captive of your own thoughts, right? You do this in here. You take captive, you run it through this algorithm of something you've created and spits out on the other side, and you can look back and go, that was a productive day. Mm-hmm. I did all these things. And you have things like thoughts that keep me stuck. Mm-hmm. So those historical things that you have gone from unconsciousness to conscious from, and say, hey, that thing tripped me up. I've identified it. Awareness is curative. I've identified it. I'm going to write it down so I know what to look for.
Right.
If I see it sneaking around a tree, I'll say, no, you're not coming my way.
What just happened?
Catching you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So very proud of you. And so talk more about it.
So I want to break down all of the components of this and why it works and why I've developed it this way over so long of a time. And I will start out with two really important things. I'm a really visual person. Like if something is in an Excel spreadsheet, you might as well fart into the wind. That's how much I'll remember it, because I won't remember any of it. I need things to be like blocked into chunks, color coded. Like it helps my brain work. I'm also mildly dyslexic. So something about that makes the visual component of a thing way more important, because if words feel out of order, I don't know, there's something about it, but
I was going to say you're mildly dyslexic.
Okay, enough. But on here, it is it's undated, so you aren't going to waste any pages, which is something that burns my britches. When you buy a journal and it's dated, and you're like, freaking frick, because now I'm going to waste these pages if I bought it in August and it started in June.
Right.
Or I'm going to, like that kind of stuff really irritates me. So I intentionally made this an undated planner. So if you take breaks, no big deal. You're not wasting paper, whatever. So it's undated. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You just circle the day, you put in the date, and then that's how you start each day. And on here, you'll see it's a 2-page spread for one day. Yes, you heard me. One day is spread across 2 pages. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be real honest. People are like, how do you structure your day? I'd love to see your planner. And then I show them, and they're like, oh my gosh, like 2 pages for one day. I don't like that. I'm like, you asked me.
They turn into a Utah mom?
Yeah, they turn into a Utah mom. You asked me how I structured my day and how I get so much done. And this is how. And I think that any self-help book that you read that is worth its weight in salt will tell you that how you prepare for your day basically determines if you're going to win it or not. If you're going to win
the morning, win the day.
Yes. And so if you got your panties in a wad about this 2-day spread or 2-page spread for a single day, I want you to rethink that. That might be why you're not winning, Karen. Anyway.
In Utah.
We have nothing against Utah at all.
I love Utah, actually.
Yeah, right. So let me start by saying the name of my publishing company that I call, it's not a publishing company, but whatever, it's called Measurely, because we need to, what gets measured gets managed. So it's called Measurely. It's my own company for creating these things. And that's the whole premise of this, is we're measuring things so that we can manage them, so that we can have awareness, so that we're not just sort of stumbling in the dark. So the very first thing that you do after you say the date and pick the day that it is you tell this planner, you write in here, how many hours did you sleep? So on this day, today, I slept 6 hours last night. And then the next question is, how much do you weigh? I weigh 131.2 pounds on this day.
So can I say something just about those two things?
Say it.
If you are not aware of how you sleep, you just wake up and go, wish I slept more. If you're not tracking this stuff, then how will you ever know, right?
Yeah.
If you want to gain weight, like put on muscle, or if you want to lose weight, obviously lose fat, you have to know where you're starting from, right? So just by identifying that, this is your marker from which this is your bearing from which you will make informed decisions in the future.
Yep.
Right? If I have a giant map here and I say, hey, get to Denver, Colorado, you go, okay, I know I'm in Seattle, so let me mark the map. But if you don't know where you are,
yes,
you're in trouble.
Yeah. And this idea of tracking my hours slept and my weight actually came from every time you go to the doctor. What's the first thing, some of the first things they ask you, if you're a woman, when was the first day of your last period? You're like, I don't freaking know. I have to track this crap. So I was like, why am I not tracking how much I sleep? Now that seems really dumb. And why am I not tracking my weight? Like if my doctor asked me, well, if I suddenly gained a bunch of weight and they asked me when it started to happen, I wouldn't have no idea.
Right.
I'd be like, I don't know when I started to feel
the
heavier.
holidays.
Yeah. November. But on here, if I go back the last couple of days, I slept 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours, 5.5 hours,
Girl.
7 hours, and 6 hours. I know I need to sleep more. But now I know. Now I have metrics for it. So that's the very first thing, is you put in the how many hours you slept and how much you weigh. Then I go down to my mood tracker. So today I feel, instead of a stupid smiley face or like a frowny face, that is not enough of a mood tracker. That's like a simple pain scale.
Instead of an emoji.
Yeah, we're going to actually, it says mood tracker. Today I feel ... And then you've got to put in the word. So on mine, I literally, look at that. That's funny.
Wow.
I have almost always the same word. So,
motivated, determined.
Dedicated.
So okay, even that.
Yes.
You can look back and go, what has been my general mindset in the morning?
Well, and let me tell you, when I wish I had my other one out here. I think it might be over there in a pile. But my old one, the last one that I had of this same planner, it used to be things like tired, sad, overwhelmed. And now it's all determined, motivated, determined, dedicated. Like the words have changed, which is so freaking cool. And we're going to get into that more when we start talking about the mindset portion of it, because I did not anticipate how this would change in such an awesome and positive direction. So again, you're starting with hours slept, weight, and then mood tracking. Then the next step, this is before you even start planning your day. You're going to do today's prayer. And I don't care if you're religious or not. Let's just be normal with it and don't say anything to me about it because I don't care. So my prayer today, let me see if I can even read my own writing. But like on some of them, it'll be like, oh, here's one. Lord, today's prayer. Lord, please help my vibrations to match the vibrations of love, wealth, attraction, joy, and success. I know that in one of these, it's like, help me to be nicer to Seth. One of them was like, let me see. Heal my heart and body towards Seth. And then it says, remove the trauma I feel when he touches me. Because there was a point that I felt my whole body would shut off. And this is not old. This is new. Right? So I was like, God, I'm asking you to take this away from me because I don't want it. And what have you noticed?
Some fun times.
I'm not just talking about sex, you ding dong.
I know.
Be normal. And now I'm mad. I'm done. This podcast is done.
Great.
What have you noticed?
Low vibes. Well, first of all, higher energy, a more fun attitude, higher vibration, more touching, more encouragement, more, hey, let's do something together.
So would you think that my prayer worked?
Yes.
So why did you say it the first time? But so it starts again with, you're going to do a little tiny box. It's just little. It's not giant, right? See on here, it's just little. And it says today's prayer. So it's going to be a little snippet of prayer, like, Lord, help me do this thing, whatever. The next box is, I am thankful for. So it's gratitude.
Ooh, gratitude.
I am thankful for. And again, this is all based off of all the research that people talk about, all of the high performance people, the people who are trying to change the world, they say every morning I do this. And so I just try to put it all in here. So the next box is the little gratitude box. So I'm thankful for, and it tends to be things like my community, my family, my friends, a loving husband, healthy kids. That tends to be that. But again, it's cool because I can go back and read all of them throughout my planners and see what I'm thankful for this week, this day, actually, which I love. The next box is my vision. And this is really cool. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're probably really going to like this, because if you have read Think and Grow Rich or Born Rich by Bob Proctor, they talk about you have to repeat your vision over and over and over again until you start to really believe it. And that's why I put my vision in here. So my vision, if you look back in my planner for probably a year, you will see to help couples thrive and grow in marriage, to help families, to live in a barn, and to raise dogs. It's almost identically worded. Sometimes it changes a little bit, but it's almost always the same exact vision. And now that we've reread Think and Grow Rich, I'm definitely going to make it even more
absolutely
clear. But like, your vision could be to be the best mother to my children and to start a school online or something, whatever it is. I don't care what your vision is, but writing it down every morning in this little block, again, it's like a sentence. It's not like a gigantic paragraph, is going to help put it in your mind and plant that seed, auto-suggestion, Bob Proctor vibes, all of it. The next box is inspiration and affirmations. And again, you'll see in my planner, it says almost always the same exact thing. It says Joyce Meyer started at 40, Martha Stewart started her business at 50. And why do you think that is, that I would be putting that for inspiration and affirmation?
Because you find that encouraging that they, these large people, started at a similar age that you are at now.
Yeah, these worldwide names. You go, oh my gosh, everybody knows them. Joyce Meyer didn't even start till she was 40, and Martha Stewart started her business at 50.
Wow.
And so I'm like, that's just so inspiring. And every day, I mean, I might write something different down. Sometimes I'll write something about Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, or something, or any other thing that feels like an affirmation or inspiration. But writing it down every morning, man, does that ever change your mindset. Then the next two things in the mindset category are my favorite. These are my favorite. That's a lie. It's all my favorite. But these two are really, really impactful. And the thoughts that keep me stuck and the thoughts that set me free portion of my planner these are something that I created for my women's group coaching that I ran about a year and a half ago or something, or sooner than that, more recent. But anyway, I did this thing where I made cards. And on one side of the card, it said thoughts that keep me stuck. And on the other side, it's thoughts that set me free. And that was so transformative to actually sit down for 1 second and identify a thought that kept you stuck. And then a counter thought that set you free. It was truly life-changing for people. And I still recommend that people do it. We have these little cards that we share and stuff. But this has changed over the course of me using this planner for like a year or whatever in the coolest way humanly possible. And I want to explain how it has transformed. So thoughts that keep me stuck, a year ago, I would literally write things like, nobody is helping me. Nobody knows, like nobody really cares. And that would be a thought that kept me stuck because no one is helping me.
And those weren't true. Those were lies.
True. They were lies. And then the thought that set me free is like, no, that's not true. Reeve is helping me and she does care, or Seth is helping me and he blah. Like I would have, but the thoughts were like puny thoughts. The thoughts were like
low vibe thoughts.
And over time, having to rewrite them every day, I was like, gosh, that's like a dumb thought to have keep me stuck all the time. And so it was really, really cool to see their progress and their own change. This last time that I wrote this, it says thoughts that keep me stuck. My thoughts don't keep me stuck. That's what I wrote.
There you go. That's great.
And then thoughts that set me free, definiteness of purpose will bring riches beyond my wildest dreams. That is the thought that sets me free. Right. And so it's really cool because again, there's been this metamorphosis of like, I literally used to have just these dumb, puny thoughts that kept me stuck. And then having to to address them and correct them and change them on purpose every day. So cool, so transformative, so awesome. And some examples might be thoughts that keep me stuck. Like, well, I was abused as a kid and I'll never be happy. Well, what's the thought that sets you free from that thought? That's not true. If so-and-so can heal, so can I.
Right.
I can do anything through Christ who strengthens me. Can Christ heal that? Yeah, I guess he can. Like you're putting that out there, the thing that keeps you stuck, and then you're putting the solution right next to it.
Here's one thing that I like to think about that. Like because I'm in the therapy world and whatever, there's a lot of obvious trauma, family of origin things, generational stuff that's happened over and over and over again, right? And I like to think of if I literally took someone from every country on earth, someone from every ethnicity on earth, someone from every socioeconomic background, from every family of origin, everybody, and said, okay, all this stuff happened to them and they are now here and successful. Usually it's people that have written books or you read about or people you want to be like, right? So the point is, this guy had everything happen to him. He was born here. It was terrible. He was this race or that or whatever. And now he's here, right? I mean, there's zillions of people, well, obviously more people than have had the stuff done to them or gone through, and they're not successful, right? But I like looking at the outliers in anything. And it's not to like, see, well, they did it, you can do it. Right. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying it is possible, and I can say and have confidence that it is possible as evidenced because this person did it.
Right.
David Goggins, think of him. Like his dad, if you've read any of his books, was miserable. Yeah. He talks about like, yeah, that guy was evil. He was a bad dude, right? Now people know who David Goggins is, right? And there's a million other people who had the same dad who was a bad dude who is now perpetuating that and being the same. You understand what I'm saying? So the thoughts that keep me stuck and the thoughts that set me free apply to every single person ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I like that. So that's the mindset portion of it. And that's the very first thing I fill out is all of the things that I just mentioned. And then I move on to one of my favorite sections, which is the time tracking and the food and hydration tracking section. And again, now this is like trying to answer the problem of how come I can't have everything in one planner? And now I have everything in one planner. So I do time tracking from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. Actually, it's from 5 to 9 on here, but I am not assuming that I work that many hours. Okay. Just to be very clear. Right. Sometimes we have to pick up a kid late from cooking class. So I wanted to have a big buffer of time that I was going to be scheduling in my day, the things that I have going on. So like on here, actually, this was a day that I woke up at 3:30 in the morning because I was excited to work. But so on here, I have Pilates at 8. I had a call with a client. I walked with my neighbor. I had another call. I had to clean out the garage. I had to clean out a car. I had a cooking class on the time tracker thing. And so I circle them. I write them down in the time frame, again, in the 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. time frame. I write them down, and then I actually circle them or put a square around them and highlight them. I have no color coordination going on. My highlighters mean nothing. I just like to see color onto a page. So just, you can highlight and have them be coordinated, but I don't. I just go yellow, orange, woohoo, yay.
Now,
trolls.
If you've made it this far, trolls, if you've made it this far in the show and go, okay, Melanie, that's good, but like, that's a lot of stuff. Like, I just want to live. Like, no, seriously.
Sound like your dad.
I know. That's what it sounded like. I would have sounded like a while back. Like, this is chicken scratch. This is all over the place. This is a million things. Listen, I just want to keep it simple and live. You can do that, but you won't get what Melanie is getting. You understand what I'm saying?
Preach.
And I'm going to preach. I'm thinking about Andy Frisella and how he talks about things. You can do whatever you want. You literally can. But you can't complain when you don't get the results of the people who are doing things differently than you. So if you say, oh my Lord, Melanie, like, can't we just live here? Like, you are complicating it way too much. This is so crazy. This would make my brain explode. Sure. I mean, maybe this way isn't your way, which I have a different one. I have a whole different one that I didn't design it. You laid it out, but I designed it and included all the elements that I wanted to be in there. And it's a crap ton of stuff.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But other people aren't going to get what you're getting because they're not doing this.
Yeah, they're not willing to do it.
And that's completely fine, right? And then there's even people like light years above us, like Andy Frisella. He's like, if you follow me around for a day, your brains would explode because I do so many things and like act at such a high level up here. And of course, he's on top of his game and all that stuff. But if you're saying that and you're being weird and judgy about it, look back towards what you say you want and what is actually happening. And I swear to G, I'm preaching to myself, and I see like the times when I haven't. I'm, kind of like halfway done this stuff. But you guys, Melanie gets what she gets, the results with clients, the productivity and our business and our podcast, the way she shows up as a wife, as a mother, as a friend. Ask anybody. It's because she does this. It's because she identified all these things. So first of all, you got to be real with yourself. Clarity is kindness. Self-clarity is self-kindness also. Accept who you really are and accept and strive who you really want to be. And for me and Melanie with ADHD, you have to do things like this, right? I can go back and you can go back in your old ones and go, oh yeah, on September 16th of last year, I was doing this. On September 16th of last year, I had this kind of mindset.
Yeah.
Like, and again, what gets measured gets managed. It's like Facebook memories. Like one popped up or something, and this time last year, what is it? Late February. Me and Tuff were skiing or snowboarding rather, double black diamonds after a heavy POW day up at Alpental, and it was awesome.
Isn't that the day you almost went off the cliff? Was that
no,
really
that was the
scary
first
day?
time. That was legit scary. No, it wasn't
We
that
can
time.
laugh about it now.
But just the fact of that, what gets measured gets managed. And if you want to operate at a high level like Melanie does, you have to do these things.
Yeah,
so
it drives me crazy. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Just
But
let that be an encouragement to
Yeah.
you. If you want it, do stuff like this.
yeah, it drives me crazy when people say they want what I have, but they're not willing to do what I do to get it. It's like, don't even ask me that. Like,
Right.
I made it for you. You can go buy it, but don't tell me it's too much, because that's how I have what I have.
You're too much. Not you, the people saying that.
So like I was saying, I have a time tracker where you can time block and lay it all out. I do it every single morning before I start my day. I base it off of our shared Google Calendar. Again, and I have to have it in two places. I have to have a paper version and a digital version. That's just how my brain works. And I know a lot of people who are like me. So that's a kind of encouragement, but that's what I do with my time tracking. Then right next to it in that same timeline is my food and water tracking. There's little glasses to notate and indicate that I need to drink water throughout the day, and I cross them off as I go. I always use my Starbucks water bottle, and actually these rubber bands that you see indicate which glass I am on. Just, I don't know if you knew that, if you ever knew what I use my rubber bands for. That's what they're for. But I discovered that I am the type of person who I will have eaten a meal 30 minutes ago, and forgotten that I ate a meal 30 minutes ago, and food will be somewhere and someone will be eating it. And I'm like, I should eat that. And then I eat it, and I'll eat like a whole second meal. And what's really funny is my mom just told me she's the exact same way like a week ago.
Really?
We were laughing about it. And I told her, yeah, I have to write down what I eat because I forget, and I will just eat another full meal.
You guys are hobbits.
We are hobbits. Second breakfast. But I also write down any drinks. So I have like right here, I have half decaf coffee at 5 a.m. I never drink fully caffeinated coffee. At 7 a.m. I had peanut butter bread and honey before I went to Pilates. After Pilates at 11 p.m. or not 11 p.m. At 11, I had a fish salad leftovers from dinner. And then I had a piece of a chocolate bar at 2 o'clock. And then I had a fully decaf coffee at 4 o'clock. So I literally write down everything that I eat for a couple of reasons. Number one, it holds me accountable to myself and what I say I want to eat. And because we are doing 75 hard and I'm eating clean, I want to have that sort of double accountability of like, oh, you didn't eat a gallon of ice cream, whatever. Not that I would do that, but it's very, very helpful. If you've never tracked what you eat, do it. The second part of why it's important to track how much I drink and eat is because it impacts how I feel. Like a lot. So if I find that I'm super achy and then I go back and look at my food tracker thing, it might be that I ate tomatoes. Tomatoes, of all things, they're sneaky lectins, and it actually will make my joints hurt. Like, it's super weird. So it gives, I didn't know that until I started tracking what I ate, by the way. So tracking what you eat, what gets measured gets managed, right? So I began writing it down, but I needed it to be in my timeline. And so this is the best solution that I came up with, and I really, really love it. Having my food and water track right there next to my timeline throughout the day, so it's all in line.
And it's all connected. So you eat good, guess what? You feel good. You feel good, you look good, you think good, and then you get results that you want, which in turn make you feel good, right? So if you're eating right, okay,
and hydrating,
and your mood, you're tracking your mood and all this stuff is connected, and it's going to get results.
Yeah.
Oh, I can look back. Oh, me and Seth had a great date night, and this and this and this. We felt connected. Well, some of the biological things contributed to that.
Yeah, what I ate,
right? I didn't eat like crap junk food all day, and
sorry. And the other thing too is that people don't often know that if you eat really late at night, sometimes it makes you not sleep well. So that's part of it. Like, you're tracking the impact that your food has on you. Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it neutral? What is it? And it's all right here. So that's the bulk of the time tracker and food and water tracking. The next thing is the daily habit trackers, which is just a little checkbox at the bottom. And it says, get sunlight, 25 minutes of exercise, worship music, laugh, love languages, talk with a friend, family time, meal prep, pray. So these are all things that everyone says you should do all the time. Like, these are like the healthy things. Just do these healthy things and you'll feel better. Okay, so it's in a checklist at the bottom of your planner. Did you do them or did you not? And it's not that you have to do them all every day. You should strive for them. But if you go back and look through your planner and like, gosh, I'm super miserable. How many times have you talked with a friend that week?
Right.
Did you talk with a friend every day? Once a day? Once a month? Like, it just gives you data points to be able to then go solve the problems that you're having. And so that's why I would encourage you, like, use the habit trackers. That's what they're there for. The next two sections are the to-dos. So you've got a big chunk of to-do sections in the middle, and that for me can be anything from like call the school for homeschooling, sign Mariner up for piano lessons, driver's lessons, send files to Sammy. It's literally just super practical, and I transfer it each day. And you might think that seems excessive. It's the only way my brain works, and it helps me to rewrite it every single day because it moves, it shifts, and sometimes I'll forget it if I don't write it down again. So there's some really powerful things there. Also, it's fun to look back on what you were doing like a year ago or whatever. And then the very last one is the daily journal. It's only a paragraph. It's little. And I love journaling, but I don't like having a journal. It just feels like a chore, and I don't know. And I always was like, I would keep my old calendars, my old like day planners and my old journals, but I'm like, I don't know when that was. Like, are they together? When was this time that I felt this way? But with this, it's built into your calendar. And I've had some people say, well, I would never journal in a planner. That seems really weird. Just give it a try. You might love it. But so again, it's a small section at the bottom of each page every single day. And you just journal in the evening, like what you did that day, how you're feeling, what you're excited for, what you're thankful for. And it makes journaling simple, fast, clear, and fun. And then again, gives you the opportunity to look back through your planners that you've used and go, what was I thinking and feeling at that time? Like, what was I going through at that time? For example, when I made my very first one of these planners, it was right literally like the week, I think I got it the week after my brother had passed. And so when I look back at those journals, they're all about how I was feeling then. And if I didn't have that planner that I created, I wouldn't be able to have that clear, like looking back and have it in the timeline of what was going on and all of the things I was going through the day and what I was doing and all of that. So
that makes me think of just keeping a journal in general is, it's not like, it is a history book of you, right? And of course, in history, we learn that history repeats itself, successes and failures. So if I can look back and go, say that I was just doing great, this, and I've journaled about it or kept a planner about it, I can look at all the indicators and the clues and the routines and the plans and the goals and the mindset that got me to that point. And I've been keeping a journal forever, and I can go back and look in my old journals and go, oh, like October of like 2019, I wasn't doing so hot.
Yeah.
What was I thinking? What was I doing then? Well, I wasn't working out. I was drinking a ton and just had a gross mindset. Oh, okay. I don't want to repeat that. Let me take actionable steps to not repeat that. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like it is a history book of you and where you are and your mindset. And that is so valuable.
Yeah. And I think as I'm sort of talking about it, thinking like I have a desire to live at a really high level of achievement, of awareness, of presence. That's my goal. And that is where this planner came from. I was so tired of like, I could feel that I wanted something more, but I never could figure out how to get there. And no planners ever helped me get there. It just was endlessly frustrating to me.
You know what's cool? Just like this planner and the one that you've created, the Power Couple planner and the journals that I've created, it all goes back to how this entire podcast and business started. We create the resources we wish we had.
Yep, exactly.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty awesome.
It is very awesome. So if you desire to live at a higher level in all areas, biopsychosocial, spiritual, right? You want to finally do meal tracking or meal prep or time tracking or prayer every day or whatever that looks like. I encourage you to get this planner. We're going to have a link in our description. You can get it it's on Amazon, but we'll look for the link in like Instagram and stuff and TikTok and Facebook. You'll find the correct link there. But this has been a labor of love and has been the only planner, truly the only planner that has worked for me in 40 years of trying to plan stuff with a crazy ADHD brain, but big dreams and lots of energy. This is the one. So I really encourage you to go get the Prayer Planner Plus Journal. Again, if you like it and find it helpful, buy some for your friends. Like help out some other ADHD peeps.
Order 5 and hand them out.
Hand them out.
That's
but
right.
Anyway, I hope that you love this episode. Hope that you found it helpful. Again, like Seth said, if you want the results I'm getting, go get this planner because this is how I get the results that I get. This is how I do all the things and live a life that I find super valuable and rewarding. This is how.
All right, sweet. So hope this has been helpful. Let us know what you think. Email us any questions at hello@anatomyofus.com, and we will talk to you later. So good job.